Omagyanatimirandasya Gyananjanashalakaya Sakshurmnitanyena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manovistam Stapitanyena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeyam Shri Guru Shri Yukta Padakamanam Shri Gurum Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupa Sagrajata Sagana Raghunatamitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Sabadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Pada Sagana Lalita Shri Vishaka Vitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagapate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gourangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Panchakapatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya eva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So we want to go first.
I'll go first, Prabhu.
Yeah, please go ahead, Nikki. Thank you for opening the grant.
I know it was Niharika, Prabhu.
Nika.
Niharika. Niharika, go first. Oh, sorry.
Nika she can go first.
No, Niharika, go. I didn't know you are the one.
Okay, I'll go first. Chapter 4, verse 31.
Thank you. Yeah.
Nayam loko seyagnyasya kutunya kuru satama. Translation: O best of the Kuru dynasty, without sacrifice one can never live happily on this planet or in this life. What then of the next? Chapter 4, verse 34. Tadvidi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya upadikshanti te jnanam jnaninastatva darshinaha. Translation: just try to learn the truth by approaching a spiritual master. Inquire unto him submissively and render service unto him. The self-realized souls can impart knowledge unto you because they have seen the truth.
Very well. Thank you. Thank you very much. That 31 is a very nice one, actually. It's good for preaching also.
Yes.
Yeah. So he said, without sacrifice, one cannot never live happily on this planet or in the next life. What then of the, so it's very important. So we're going to get into this topic. Okay, who wants to go next?
I'll go next, Prabhu.
Oh, thank you, Nikki. Yeah.
Okay, chapter 4, text 31. Okay. Nayam lokosh deyanya sha. Kutonyaha kurusatama. Translation: O best of the Kuru dynasty, without sacrifice one can never live happily on this planet or in this life. What then of the next? Okay. Chapter 4, text 34. Tadvidhi panipatena.
Yes.
Wait a second. Tadvidhi panipatena paripashnana sevaya upadikshanti te jnanam jnaninas tatva darshanaha. Okay. Translation. Translation. Just try to learn the truth by approaching a spiritual master. Inquire from him submissively and render service unto him. The self-realized souls can impart knowledge unto you because they have seen the truth. Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much. Haribo. Once again, next.
I'll give it a try. Just memorize it now.
Is that you have not memorized it?
I have memorized it, but just before. I'll give it a try.
Okay, try. Yeah, good to try.
Nayam loko astya yagnasya kuto naya kurushottama. Okay.
Yeah.
The first of the translation is like.
Oh, best.
I'll just look at it.
Oh, best.
Yeah. O best of the Kuru dynasty, without performing the sacrifices, one can never live happily in this material world or in this in this life. What then of the next?
Thank you.
The next verse. Tadvidi pranipatrena परिप्रश्नेन सेवया उपदेक्षयन्ति ते ज्ञानं ज्ञानिनास्तत्त्वदर्शः. Just try to learn the truth by approaching a spiritual master. Inquire him submissively and render your services unto him.
The
The
self-realized soul.
self-realized soul can impart knowledge unto you because they have seen the truth. Hare Krishna.
Very good. Raj, your turn.
Okay. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
4 point.
Very much, Mata Tripura. Well done. Okay. For the end of this week, I'm very sure you'll be more fluent like the other one.
Should I start now, Prabhu?
Yes, right. Go ahead.
Okay. Chapter 4, verse 31. Nayam logo styagnyasya kuto nyaha kurusattama.
Oh, best.
O best of Kuru dynasty, without sacrifice one can never live happily on this planet or in this life. What then of the next? Okay. 4.34. Tadvidhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya upadakshanti te jnanam jnaninas tatvadarshinaha. Just try to learn the truth by approaching a spiritual master. Inquire from him submissively and render service unto him. The self-realized souls can impart knowledge unto you because they have known the truth. Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much because you have seen the truth. Thank you. By the end of the week, I'm very sure you'll be all fluent in the reciting this. Quickly, who can remind me of the last week's sloka? Want to try?
Like two of it, Prabhuji.
Okay, try. Okay, do the two of them. Yeah.
Verse 4.9. Janma karma chami devyam evam yo vititatvatah takva deham punarjanma naiti mamiti. So Arjuna, one who knows the transcendental nature of my appearance and activities does not upon leaving the body take his birth again in this material world but attain my eternal abode, O Arjuna. Verse 4.11. Ye yatha mam prapadyante tam sataiva bhajami aham mamavartmanu vartante manusha parta sarvasaha. Translation. As all surrender unto me, I reward them accordingly. Everyone follows my path in all respect, O son of Virtha. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. You want to try one of the today's one? Just one? Or you have not tried?
No, Prabhuji. Not
Okay.
today. Thank you.
It's all right. So someone that want to do the last week one? I'll give one more chance. You want to refresh the brain, the memory.
I'll try, Prabhuji.
There you go.
4.9. Janma karma cha me devyam evam yo veti tatvata tyaktva deham punarjanma naiti mameti so Arjuna. One who knows the transcendental nature of my appearance and activities does not, upon leaving this body, does not take his birth again in this material world, but attains my eternal abode, O Arjuna. 4.11 ये यथा मां प्रपद्यन्ते तां तथैव भजाम्यहं मम वर्तमानुवर्तन्ते मनुष्या पार्थ सर्वशः. As all surrender unto me, I reward them accordingly. Everyone follows my path in all respects, O son of Pritha. Hare
Thank you very
Krishna.
much. Hare Krishna. Thank you. So we continue now. I know some devotees, they went for Harinam. That's why they are not here. So we'll continue from where we stopped last week. So that is 420. Okay, let me share my screen. Continue from there. 420. Okay. So tyaktva karma phala sangam nityatripto nirashayaha karmani abhivravritupi naiva kinchi karoti saha. So Krishna continued speaking to Arjuna, abandoning all attachment to the result of his activities, ever satisfied and independent, he performs no fruitive action, although engaged in all kinds of undertaking. Who is Krishna talking about here? Rasaraj Prabhu, you're welcome. You want to try?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
You want to try today's verse?
What's going on? Sorry.
The shloka. The shloka. Have you
Oh,
tried
the
a shloka?
4.9 and 4.11?
4.11. No. You still see the assignment on the group. So today we may
Sorry,
finish
Prabhu.
earlier because I'm going out with my friend. So maybe around 7:50 we'll finish. 4:45. Okay. So by 4:45 we'll stop today. Okay. Well, Prabhu, so Ryan Prabhu, are you ready with your shloka? You came late.
Not yet, Prabhu. I only have the Sanskrit, but the English is not so much.
Okay, tomorrow I'll give you for tomorrow. What
Okay.
about Angel Mataji? Angel Mataji, you want to try?
No, I'm not ready, Prabhu. Not yet.
Oh, Angel Mataji, don't drop. You are very fired up.
We
You have
had
to keep
a
the
long
fire
day today.
burning.
Because we have a long day today, Prabhu. Sorry.
It's all right. Tomorrow, okay?
Okay.
Mother Chintia, are you ready? Chintia Mataji. Is Mother Chintia there?
Ano pang?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Are you ready?
Not reading.
Okay, tomorrow, okay?
I think she's busy doing service, Prabhuji.
Okay, so yeah, Krishna is talking about Nishkama Karma Yoga here in this chapter 420. Abandoning all attachment to the result of his activities, ever satisfied and independent, he performs no fruitive action, although engaged in all kinds of undertaking. So someone want to read the proper purport so that we can discuss more on this verse.
I can read, Prabhuji.
Please go ahead.
This freedom from the bandage of actions is possible only in Krishna consciousness. When one is doing everything for Krishna, a Krishna conscious person acts out of pure love for the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and therefore he has no attractions for the results of the action. He has not even attached to his personal maintenance, for everything is left to Krishna. Nor he is anxious to secure things, nor to protect things already in his possession. He does his duty to the best of his ability and leaves everything to Krishna. Such as unattached person is always free from the resultant reactions of good and bad. It is as though he were not doing anything. This is the sign of a karma, or actions without fruitive reactions. Any other actions, therefore, devoid of Krishna consciousness,
is binding upon the worker, and that is a real aspect of vikarma, as explained here and before. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. So here, Prabhupada is explaining how a devotee is free from the bondage of work. Why? Because he performs action for the pleasure of Krishna. If not, action is bounding in this world. Whatever action we perform, we are going to get the equal resultant reaction. So based on the action we perform in this world, we are building our body for the next life. But for a devotee who is acting in Krishna consciousness, there is no reaction. Because why? All his action is for the satisfaction of Krishna. So that is akarma. Akarma means action that does not bring reaction, because everything is for the pleasure of Krishna. If not, everything we are doing in this world is bounding if it's not connected to God. Okay, even the so-called good and even the so-called bad is bounding to this world. When you do good action, you go to heavenly planet to enjoy them. Then you come back to this earth again. When you do bad action, which is called vikarma, or horrible work, or work that are not prescribed in the scripture, you go to the hellish planet, you suffer for them, then again you come back to this earth. So earth is a place of karma. That is why earth is called karma bhumi, means the place of action. Heavenly planet is place of enjoyment based on the action you perform on earth. Hellish planet is a place of suffering based on action you perform on earth planet. So it's either you go up or you go down. But for one who is performing action in Krishna consciousness, which is a karma, it transcends both the heavenly and hellish planet. Then it goes back home, back to God, to Krishna's abode. So that is the position of a devotee who is fixed in Krishna consciousness. Even for our ordinary daily activity, as we are performing them, I always try to remember this verse again and again. 8:7. Can somebody find it and read it fast? Whenever I'm talking about this action in Krishna consciousness, I always remember that. I want you to also keep this verse. You can always quote it also when you're talking about action in Krishna consciousness. Krishna was telling Arjuna.
Prabhu,
8:7, you can
was
read
that
it.
8:7?
Yes, please.
8.7?
Yeah.
Translation, therefore, Arjuna, you should always think of me in the form of Krishna, and at the same time carry out your prescribed duty of fighting. With your activities dedicated to me and your mind and intelligence fixed on me, you will attain me without doubt.
Read the purport. The purport is very short.
4:4. This instruction to Arjuna is very important for all men engaged in material activities. The Lord does not say that one should give up his prescribed duties or engagements. One can continue them and at the same time think of Krishna by chanting Hare Krishna. This will free one from material contamination and engage the mind and intelligence in Krishna. By chanting Krishna's names, one will be transferred to the supreme planet, Krishna Loka, without a doubt. Hare Krishna.
So thank you very much. So this verse is very much similar to what Krishna is describing also here. Okay, so the devotee is never attached to the result of his activities, whether good or bad, because he's performing his action for the pleasure of Krishna. So we should practice, we should cultivate and try to make our activity Krishna center. That is the only way we can be free from the bondage of work. If not, work is bounding to this world. Okay, so any comment or question regarding that, then we'll go to the next verse. We're going to read some quotes from the Prabhupada's quote also today. Nirashir yata shitatma tyaktva sarva parigraha shariram kevalam karma kurvanapnoti kivisham. Such a man of understanding acts with mind and intelligence perfectly controlled, gives up all sense of proprietorship over his possessions, and acts only for the bare necessity of life. Thus walking is not affected by sinful reactions. Okay? Such a man of understanding acts with mind and intelligence perfectly controlled, gives up all sense of proprietorship over his possessions, and act only for the bare necessities of life. Thus walking is not affected by sinful reaction. So Krishna is explaining here how one can be free from sinful reaction by engaging in akarma. Somebody who can read the purport, let's read little about the purport, then we'll...
I read it, Prabhu.
Yeah, please go ahead, Mata.
A Krishna conscious person does not expect good or bad results in his activities. His mind and intelligence are fully controlled. He knows that because he is part and parcel of the Supreme, the part played by him as part and parcel of the whole is not his own activity, but is only being done through him by the Supreme. When the hand moves, it does not move out of its own accord, but by the endeavor of the whole body. A Krishna conscious person is always dovetailed with the supreme desire, for he has no desire for personal sense gratification. He moves exactly like a part of a machine. As a machine part requires oiling and cleaning for maintenance, so a Krishna conscious conscious man maintains himself by his work just to remain fit for action in the transcendental loving service of the Lord. He is therefore immune to all the reactions of his endeavors. Like an animal, he has no proprietorship even over his own body. A cruel proprietor of an animal sometimes kills the animal in his possession, yet the animal does not protest, nor does it have any real independence. A Krishna conscious person, fully engaged in self realization, has a very little time to falsely possess any material object. For maintaining body and soul, he does not require unfair means of accumulating money. He does not, therefore, become contaminated by such material sins. He is free from all reactions to his actions.
Thank you very much. So this is how to engage in action in this world and be free from reaction. Even the proper measure in the purport, even in his own body, he doesn't consider his body to be his, because it's Krishna's property. Because he knows perfectly well that everything in this world belongs to Krishna. We are just caretaker. And at the end of life, we're going to leave everything here and live and go back to Krishna. See, there was one past time when Rupa Goswami came to meet Chaitanya Prabhu in Jagannath Puri. So he was in Jagannath Puri, and before, when he was coming to Jagannath Puri, because he drank water from dirty water, so he contracted some disease. So his body started oozing sore, cover his body, and some bad smell oozing out from his, from his body, all over his body, itching. The body was itching, and have sore all over. So he was always displeased because every time Chaitanya Prabhu will come to him, Chaitanya Prabhu will embrace him. So he was feeling bad. My Lord, again and again, coming to embrace me. See how my body is contaminated. Oh, no, this is not good. This is not good. Well, what will I do? Okay, better to, commit suicide during the Jagannath Yatra so that the Lord will not come and embrace this, sinful body. So Chaitanya Prabhu could read his mind. He told him, Rupa, what are you trying to do? Do you think your body belongs to you? No, your body belongs to Krishna. If by committing suicide, the one we attain pure love for Krishna, I would have committed suicide. I would have committed so many suicides before now. But by committing suicide, one does not attain love for Krishna. One will become a ghost. So don't do that. Your body does not belong to you. Your body belongs to Krishna. So Chaitanya Prabhu was teaching us how everything, in our possession belongs to Krishna. And that is why Srila Bhakti Thakur also gave us the same mentality as a devotee. We should have this proper mentality. Not because now we think, I've seen in our movement, because devotees have this mentality, everything, just like those who are in the public service. Because they believe that everything belongs to the government. So they don't care about the government's property. Sometimes I've seen this kind of attitude also in some devotees, oh, it's government, so I don't care. But I spoil, they drive the government property anyhow, the cars, they batch it and do all kind of, because they think it's not theirs, they don't care. So our consciousness should not be like that. Our consciousness should be, because it's for Krishna, we should take more care. I remember, like I was saying, Bhakti Thakur mentioned that Krishna, my wife, my children, my house, everything belongs to you. everything I have possessed, in my possession, it belongs to you. I will work very hard to take care of your properties. This should be the mentality of the devotee. This should be our mentality, to think that, we maintain Krishna's property, our house, our wife. Sometimes, we think we are the husband, so we are the Lord. We try to, no, we should think even your wife is Krishna's property, your children, everybody. So you should work very hard just to take care of Krishna property. This should be devotee's mentality. So if whatever we are doing in this world, we should do it in a way that at the end, we are, in the consciousness of trying to please or satisfy Krishna, because that is the goal of life. That is the perfection of life. When Krishna is pleased, Samsidim Haritoshana. When Krishna will be pleased, then we have achieved the perfection of life. If not, life is not all about eating, sleeping, and working and dying. And then what? So pleasing Krishna is the goal of life. And if we're able to please Krishna by our activities, by our consciousness, properly fixed, like it's mentioned in this verse we are reading now, this verse we are reading is saying that such a man understanding act with mind and intelligence perfectly control, give up all sense of proprietorship over his possessions, and act only for the bare necessities of life. So as a devotee also, we should not be over-endeavoring, like we read in Nectar of Instruction. What is the over-endeavoring, or we call prayasas? Prayasa means you are earning 15,000 pesos or 25,000 pesos, and you are planning to go and buy a car of 1 million. Is it not over-endeavoring? So because it doesn't justify your earning. So you are going to always put yourself in mysteries and, distress, always, in anxiety of how to pay back. So we should live based on our, based on our income. We should not create unnecessary anxiety for ourselves. So when we live based on our incomes and like that, we will not have so much anxiety in life. So simple living, high thinking. So as a devotee, we should cultivate this consciousness. So if we live a simple life, we'll be happy. Simple life means understanding that we should do our work just to, create a balance in our life, both our spiritual and material life. Okay? So there was one story of a man who was asking him, what is your plan in life? He said, my plan is to work so much. It was at the beach, the sea beach, So he was asking, my goal is to work very hard. The person was asking me, was saying, okay, my goal is to work very hard, and then what? So when I work very hard, then will save money, then I can go and visit the beaches around the world and enjoy. And the person was telling him, but you're already there now, so why do you have to work very hard to achieve that? For you to come and sit at the sea beach. No, that does not mean that we should not work very hard. We should work very hard, but we should work with the consciousness that everything is for the pleasure of Krishna, because that is the goal of life, okay? To please Krishna. Once Krishna is pleased, that is the perfection of our life. Because why Krishna has to be pleased? Because we are all part and parcel of Krishna, like Papa mentioned in the purport. Okay? So because we are part of Krishna, we cannot be happy separate from Krishna. Just like your hand is a part of you. Your hand is part of you. If you separate the hand from your part, from the body becomes, the hand cannot function. And the hand becomes useless. Okay? So, but if the hand is with the body, then the hand will be, enjoying being part of the body. And the hand will be, acting properly. So similarly, as a part and parcel of Krishna, we can only, be in our full potential when we are connected to the Supreme. Okay? And that is what Krishna is trying to explain to Arjuna in these verses we are reading about our karma. Engaging in activity that does not produce, reaction by connecting it to Krishna. Because I know in the beginning of Bhagavad Gita, we remember Arjuna was complaining why he doesn't want to perform his duties because of the sinful reaction, because of this, because of that. So Krishna is educating him why he should perform his duty in Krishna consciousness. There's all those his fear will not be there. Okay? Any comments or question regarding this? Raj, are you there? I always like that the camera is on as much as possible so that we can know that you are there. Because when the camera is not on, you can quickly go to the kitchen and take a cup. But if your camera is on, you'll be calculating. Oh, if I stand up, Prabhu will see me. I'm seeing everyone from here. So, any question or comments or contribution from your side or realization? Don't feel shy. So let's read from Surrender Unto Me. We have like 12, 13 minutes more. Okay. Just say 21. Who can see my screen?
Still black. Now we can see it.
Okay. So who want to read?
Okay, I read, Prabhu. Text
Yes,
21.
please.
Such a man of understanding.
No. Read from the explanation.
Okay, Srila Prabhupada explains. The Krishna conscious persons move exactly like a part of a machine. As a machine parts requires oiling and cleaning for maintenance, so a Krishna conscious man maintains himself by his work just to remain fit for action in the transcendental loving service of the Lord. He is therefore immune to all reaction of his endeavors. Like an animal, he has no proprietorship even over his own body. A cruel proprietor of an animal sometimes kill the animal in his possession, yet the animal does not protest, nor does it have any real independence. A Krishna conscious person fully engaged in self-realization has a very little time to forcefully possess any material object. For maintaining the body and soul, he does not require unfair means of accumulating money. He does not therefore become contaminated by such material sins. He is free from all reaction to his actions. This verse speaks of a highly advanced, perfected devotee who is constant importance to anything outside that Krishna, outside that service. His qualities will now be further described. Hare Krishna.
So this verse speaks of highly advanced, perfected devotee who is constantly greedy for Krishna service. He considers himself insignificant and gives no importance to anything outside the service. His quality will now be further described. So now we are going to hear more about this advanced devotee. This is the goal of our action in Krishna consciousness. So we should keep the goal in mind. And we should not forget, while keeping the goal in mind, we should understand our own level. It's very, very important. Sometimes devotees, they try to bring the goal to their own level. We should not try that. We should know the goal. And we should, try to meditate on the goal. And know, okay, this is where I'm going. But we should not try to bring it to our own level. What do I mean by this? What I'm trying to say in essence is that, like some people in the Holy Dam, they talk about Radha Krishna, Prema, pure love, this, but they cannot control their senses. Okay, so he's bringing their, even though they talk about these high subject matters, but just ordinary controlling the senses, Chilaruga Goswami recommended in the beginning of Nectar of Instruction, they cannot follow that. So why speaking of high subject matter when the primary subjects we cannot keep? So what I'm trying to say in essence is that as a devotee, we should understand to surrender all our activity completely to Krishna. And like Prabhupada gave a very nice example, like we are like a part of machine, you know. Sometimes oiling maintenance is done on the part the machine by oil, you know, oiling this and doing maintenance, you know. And Prabhupada gave another example, like animal kept by the, you know, somebody who will possess these animals. Sometimes they slaughter them. See the animal, they are very obedient, you know. Like, so what Prabhupada is saying, trying to explain to us in that is that a pure devotee of Krishna is totally surrendered to Krishna. You know, like the 8th verse of Shishasaka. You know, whether you kill me, whether you break me, whatever you do to me, Krishna, I'm totally surrendered to you. You know, so this is the consciousness of a pure devotee of Krishna. Okay, so any question or comment regarding what we have discussed so far? So let us hear the greatness of this advanced devotee. Okay. Yadricha laba santusto swandwati tovip vimasaraha samasida vasido cha kritva pinaliba diate. He who is satisfied with gain which comes of his own accord, who is free from duality and does not envy, who is steady in both success and failure, is never entangled although performing actions. Okay? Let's read the purport. Who wants to read?
All right, Prabhu.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Okay, purport. A Krishna-conscious person does not make much endeavor even to maintain his body. He is satisfied with gains which are obtained of their own accord. He neither begs nor borrows, but he labors honestly as far as is in his power, and is satisfied with whatever is obtained by his own honest labor. He is therefore independent in his livelihood. He does not allow anyone's service to hamper his own service in Krishna consciousness. However, for the service of the Lord, he can participate in any kind of action without being disturbed by the duality of the material world. The duality of the material world is felt in terms of heat and cold, or misery and happiness. A Krishna-conscious person is above duality because he does not hesitate to act in any way for the satisfaction of Krishna. Therefore, he is steady both in success and in failure. These signs are visible when one is fully in transcendental knowledge.
Thank you very much. So yeah, we can see this is fully visible when one is fully in transcendental knowledge. So we should understand the goal. And you see sometimes devotees, when we study Srila Prabhupada's books or we study Prabhupada's purport, we can take things out of purports just to suit ourselves. Let me give us an example here. See, the beginning of the purport, Prabhupada mentions that a Krishna conscious person does not make much endeavor even to maintain his body. Okay? He's satisfied with whatever he gains, which is obtained of his own accord. So somebody can just pick that point and say, oh, you see, as a devotee, you know, I don't need to work. I just need to stay in the temple, you know, and whatever I get, I'm okay. You know, this line, you know, like that. But then the devotee will not read what is in the middle of the purport. It may not even pick that because maybe that one is not, you know, suit to him. Who can tell me which one I'm talking about in the middle of the purport? Let's see whether somebody gets what I'm saying or somebody can read my mind.
Prabhu, can you please repeat it one more time?
You know, I read this beginning of the purport I said somebody can pick this out of the context and say, oh, devotees are not supposed to walk and never maintain this body, this, that, satisfied with whatever they again obtained by their own accord. But the person may just take this out of the point and out of the purport and say, oh, see what Papa said and say this, that. And the person will not mention what is inside the purport, in the middle of the purport. So I want you to detect what I properly mentioned in the middle of the purport to counteract that.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Yeah. Go ahead, Prabhu.
In my own understanding, Srila Prabhupada's purport, he's telling here that one should only live according to his means. And
No,
not
I understand.
endeavor.
I understand. He mentioned the contrary to that in the middle of the purport. I want you to detect that. He counteracts that in the middle of the purport. I want somebody to tell me what is the statement in the purport that counteracts that.
Can I try, Prabhu?
Try, please.
Is it when Srila Prabhupada said on the purport, you mentioned that, however, for the service of the Lord, he can participate in any kind of action without being disturbed by the duality of the material world.
Okay, continue.
And then he said that the duality of the material world is felt in terms of heat and cold, or misery and happiness.
Okay.
Is that what we're looking for?
Yeah, that is part of faith. Then let me read it completely since you have gotten very close. Thank you very much for making that endeavor. Okay, so it says, however, for the service of the Lord, he can participate in any kind of action without being disturbed by the duality of material. Can you see the two statements now? I hope you are seeing the difference. Am I speaking to?
Yes, Prabhuji,
Yes,
we
Prabhu, we can
understand.
see.
We can understand.
You understand now? You understand what Prabhupada is saying here? Can you understand now? He said, however, for the service of the Lord, he can participate in any kind of action without being disturbed by the duality of the material world. The duality of the material world is felt in terms of heat and cold, miseries and happiness. This is what I was looking for here. A Krishna consciousness person is above duality because it does not hesitate to act in any way for the satisfaction of Krishna. You see? So for acting for Krishna, he can tolerate both pain, happiness, success or failure, just for the pleasure of Krishna. Okay, so if someone take only this aspect, then he will not be able to follow the last one proper mention here, like, oh, he's satisfied with whatever he gain with, which is obtained by his overall God. So if a devotee just, like you try a little bit, or is meet with failure. Oh, Krishna said, Prabhupada said we should be satisfied with what we get on our accord, it's okay. You see? So, no, but Prabhupada did not say like that. Prabhupada say, for the pleasure of Krishna, is ready to tolerate the duality of the world, both failures and success, pain or cold, is ready to work for Krishna for the pleasure of Krishna. Okay, so that is the point. So, like I told you, I'm going somewhere. So, any comment contribution is already 7:45, so that we can round off. Once my friend comes out, we are going.
No comments.
Probably I want to ask something.
Okay, please ask.
Just a quick question. When Srila Prabhupada mentioned that a Krishna conscious person is above duality because he does not hesitate to act in any way, only for the satisfaction of Krishna. Is that above the three material modes? Is that the transcendental stage? Am I getting it?
Yeah, you got the point, Prabhu. Because you see, all the quality we are going to be reading now, Prabhupada mentioned in the previous verse, Prabhupada, that Krishna is now going to describe of an advanced devotee, the quality of an advanced devotee. You see, so we should understand that this thing we are going to be reading is talking about advanced devotees. And we we are not there yet. Okay? We will come there by practicing, but we are not there yet. When we talk about advanced devotee, means one who is practically applying these teachings in his or her lives. Because see, one thing is to read this thing theoretically. One thing is to try to apply them. Until you start trying to apply them, you cannot get the realization. So when we talk about, okay, to be posting heat and cold, we can hear it. It sounds nice. It's okay. But are you trying to, okay, Papa. So, okay, sir. So are you trying to be, have you tried that before? Like, okay, you are in heat, you maintain your balance. You are in the cold, you maintain your balance. Have you tried that before? So try to practice these things. That is practical application. So we can read them, but we have to endeavor to practice them. Then we can realize this knowledge. Okay, so I think we will stop here because it's already beyond 45. Tomorrow, we will talk more, okay? And thank you very much. Make sure we read the shloka at the assignments I gave. Please let us practice it because that is the shloka we are going to be reading throughout this week. Okay, it's a very nice shloka. I love that shloka of the 31.
31.
That's why I say, all best of the Kuru dynasty, without sacrifice, one can never live happily on this planet. Okay, when we get to that verse, we talk what is sacrifice. Chanting of Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna, Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare.
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Hare
Rama
Rama, Hare
Rama.
Rama,
Hare
Rama
Hare.
Rama, Hare Hare.
So we talk gradually we are going there. When we get there, we will dive deep into this, the topic about sacrifice there. Very sweet part. We are getting there gradually. Don't worry. Oh my, okay. Bacha kapata rubiascha. Hare Krishna. See you tomorrow. Hare Krishna.
Probably, I know you're in a hurry,
Okay,
but just
one
a quick picture. Yes, please.
Yeah, you see that my picture will be different today because I'm in a different environment.
Yes, I like I still like your background. Okay, please everyone look at your camera, smile. 1, 2, 3. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Okay, thank you, Prabhu. Kavi.
Yeah, see you
Have a good
tomorrow.
one.
Hare Krishna.